In this society, walking down a public street required a broom tied to your waist. Your primary task was to sweep away your own footprints, ensuring your existence didn't pollute the ground for the higher castes walking behind you. This hierarchy was justified by the Rig Veda, which divided humanity based on the body parts of a creator deity. The untouchables occupied the space beneath the pyramid, entirely excluded from the human order. Dr. Bhim Ambedkar was born into this exclusion. He managed an extraordinary escape through scholarship, eventually earning double doctorates from Columbia University and the London School of Economics. But back in India, his degrees offered no protection. Even as a high-ranking official, he was evicted from a Parsi inn, and his own subordinates would drop files on his desk rather than touch his hand. Ambedkar realized that personal achievement could not override systemic prejudice. He shifted his focus from the library to the streets, aiming to dismantle the social structure he had spent years studying. His first major strike targeted a basic human necessity: water. During the Mahad Satyagraha, Ambedkar leapt thousands of followers to a public tank and drank from the water strictly forbidden to them. The backlash was immediate. Orthodox groups responded with riots and then performed elaborate purification rituals, attempting to cleanse the reservoir of the untouchables' touch. Ambedkar's response was a direct assault on the system's ideological core. He led a public burning of the Manusmriti, the ancient legal text that provided the religious justification for caste discrimination. This was more than a protest over water. It was a declaration that the laws governing Ambedkar saw that social reform would remain stalled until his people held the levers of hard legal power. To gain that power, he traveled to London for the Round Table Conferences, positioning himself as the political voice for 60 million marginalized Indians. This diagram shows his core demand: separate electorates. While a general electorate allows the majority to pick the minorities' leaders, Ambedkar wanted a system where his people could select their own representatives, independent of upper caste influence. Standing in his way was Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi feared that separate electorates would permanently split the Hindu community. To stop Ambedkar, he launched a fast unto death from a jail cell in Pune. With gravity, Ambedkar was backed into a corner. If he held his ground for his people's rights, he would be blamed for the death of the nation's most famous leader. He signed the Pune Pact to save Gandhi's life, surrendering separate electorates. It was a bitter realization. The rights of the marginalized were the first thing sacrificed for the sake of national unity. When India finally gained independence, Ambedkar was appointed law minister and chairman of the committee tasked with drafting the nation's first constitution. The same man who was once chased away from public water tanks was now the one holding the pen, drafting the supreme law of the world's largest democracy. He used that pen to outlaw untouchability and mandate universal equality, attempting to do with law what social protests could not. But even as the Constitution was adopted, Ambedkar worried. He knew that legal codes are only as strong as the society that enforces them, and India's social foundation remained unchanged. He attempted one final legislative fix: the Hindu Code Bill. It was designed to grant women the right to divorce and inherit property, challenging the patriarchal core of traditional law. The backlash was massive. Orthodox groups flooded the streets, accusing Ambedkar of trying to destroy their religion through modern legislation. When the government withdrew the bill to avoid political fallout, Ambedkar resigned in disgust. He concluded that attempting to build an equal society on an unequal religious foundation was like building a palace on a dung heap. If the spirit of the people didn't change, the laws never would. This realization led to his final act of rebellion. He decided to fulfill a vow he had made decades earlier, that while he was born a Hindu, he would not die as one. On October 14, 1956, 500,000 people gathered in Nagpur. There, Ambedkar led them in a mass exodus away from the caste system and into a new faith. He chose Buddhism, a faith based on wisdom, compassion, and the total absence of hierarchy. Ambedkar's life proves that equality is not a single victory won in a courtroom or a parliament. It is a struggle that must be fought in the law books, at the ballot box, and within the human soul.